Testing a new version of the app here. Try and take away the watermark that it did before. Hopefully it works fine. The event's over there. It's I'm just approaching now. I don't know if they're delaying or what. I can't see it. Whew. There you go. What kind of question is that, dude? What's up, guys? Hello, Tammy. Welcome to the stream. Looks like the rally is a bit thin at the moment. We are like 70 days into protest, so only getting the more dedicated people coming out to these sort of events lately anyway. But it's a decent little turnout. It's like the speeches and all that haven't really started just yet. Be picking up in a little bit. To say that the protests have been going on peaceful for months now. There was only a little bit of an issue at the beginning of the protests in the end of May, but since then it's been 100% peaceful. We've had no issues in Philadelphia to that regard beyond from June on, so that's great. Hopefully the audio is okay. The display as far as like text and stuff. I am trying a new app here to stream. It's actually the same app I was using before, but it's an older version. Oh, thank you. Looks like it's doing okay. Thank you, Tammy. Always appreciated trying to get this out here. I'm a freelance startup live streamer. I joined the protests around June 6th, and that was the 100,000 people marching from this very location all the way down to the city hall and back. And I believe today they're intending to march to the location where the MOVE organization back in the 1970s was assaulted. So don't believe that we're going to be marching to the city hall then.
On the move, on the move.
There we go.
On the move! On the move! On the move! Free to move none! Free to move none! We 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 thank you for being here today as we pay tribute to a mighty man by the name of Delbert, Africa. Is that right? We say, long live Delbert, Africa. Long live Delbert, Africa. Long live Delbert, Africa. And we're here because we are protesting the legacy in the city of Philadelphia of police terrorism that goes back decades, that goes back centuries, since the very inception of policing, not only in Philadelphia, not only in Pennsylvania, but around the world. And so we're here in collaboration and in concert with the MOVE family to showcase and show and display that we are serious and always have been. This is going to be a call to action and a call to change, because we got a lot more prisoners to be released. Is that right? We're talking about free Mumia Abu-Jamal. Is that right? We're talking about free Ines Millamé. Is that right? We're talking about free Matul Shakur. Is that right? We're talking about free Leonard Peltier. Is that right? We're talking about free what's the Maroon Schultz. Is that right? And so we say, what's the call? 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 And down with this rotten system. We want to thank all the organizers for being here today and all the organizations for showing your solidarity, for showing your commitment, and for showing your sacrifice. Without you, none of this can happen. So give yourselves a round of applause for just being here, being adamant, and being convicted in this work. Solidarity is an action. Solidarity is a verb. Love is an action. Love is a verb. Resistance is an action. Resistance is the verb. Revolution is an action. Revolution is indeed a verb. Right? Yeah, I care what you're thinking, but I care more about what you're doing. I'm gonna say it again. Yeah, I care about what you're thinking, but I care for damn sure more about what you're doing. Day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, even when you're tired, even when the enemy is up against us, what are you doing? That's the criteria for our success of our movement. So with that being said, I actually want to bring up one of our brothers, and here's somebody who has helped to lead this movement and helped to lead this work. Somebody who we all love, somebody whose parents came home 2 years ago, somebody who's been on the front lines, somebody who has a call to action, somebody who wants to lead us forward and move us forward, somebody who we know and love to organize with the people. That is Mike Africa Jr., y'all.
Hey Devin, let me check for you here. I got the event. It says until 3 p.m. But that depends on when the march and the speeches end.
On the move! 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 On the move!
Uh-oh.
On the move. Thank y'all for coming out here today. 42 years ago today, the police laid siege to the MOVE organization. And after all those years, all those people that the police arrested that day, are home. The police did not want to see those people come home. And they tried their best to keep those people in prison. They tried their best to kill those people in prison. But because of the power of the people, all of those people, most of those people, not all of them, because we lost Merle and we lost Phil. But we got my mother and we got my father and we got my Uncle Chuck. We got Janet and Janine. We got Eddie. And we got Delbert Africa. We got Delbert Africa. Delbert Africa. Although the MOVE organization does not believe in leaders.
Thank you very much, Tammy. Much appreciated.
In the traditional sense. Because John Africa gave members of the organization the information so that we could lead ourselves. But even with that, Delbert Africa took the lead that many of us followed often. Because his example was so powerful. His resistance was always so high. We've all seen the beating of Delbert Africa on August 8, 1978. We saw the police kick him in his chest, in his face, in his ribs, in his groin. We saw that steel helmet hit him over the face. We know that he had a shotgun shell in his chest. We know that rifle butt broke his jaw. But the revolutionary spirit of Delbert Africa drove him to continue to lead in this movement. Long live Delbert Africa. This is a beast of a system we're fighting against. It is not easy to overcome. But example by example and step by step, we continue to show the example of progress. Because even when our people were put in prison, they have continued the movement, we have continued the movement and escalated the fight. And the police, like I said earlier, the police did not want our people to come home. But because of the power of the people, because of the power of you, because of the power of us, we got our people home. And when the people, as they came home, as the police people came home from prison, I asked them, I said, what is it that y'all want? What do you want? You spent all of that time in prison, and I want to give you something. I don't have a lot of money, I can't do a lot, but whatever I can do, I want to make sure that I do for you. What is it that you want? When I asked my mom said, she said, I don't need anything else. I'm just happy to be home with you. When I asked my dad said, he said, Mike, all I want is to marry your mom. He said, I want to marry your mom like I should have done 40 years ago. When Delbert came home, I said, hey, Del, you home. You can have anything you want. Is there anything that I can get you that you want? He said, hey, Mike, you know what I want? I said, what you want? He said, something I haven't had in a long time. He said, I want a double chocolate cake. I said, wait, hold up. You can have all of these things. He said, well, I know that I'm already going to get all those other things. I know I'm going to get hugs from my family. I know I'm going to get a hug from my baby. I just want a chocolate cake. So as I do, because I love my family so much, I try to make it where he can get his chocolate cake. Delbert Africa spent 41 and a half years in prison for something that he did not do. His daughter, one of his daughters, was in the house on May 13th, 1985. To see Delbert come home after 41 and a half years of unjust imprisonment.
Amazing, Tammy. Thank you very much.
Those prison bars was a powerful example. And it hurt like hell when he passed away a few months later. But Delbert Africa lives on. His example lives on. Because his daughter, one of his daughters was in the house on May 13th, 1985. But another one of his daughters is out here with us today. And she's been with us since the beginning. And we've been with her since the beginning. And we're going to march today together, and we're going to pay tribute to Delbert Africa, and we're going to take his energy, and we're going to allow his energy to transfer through us and continue the movement that he led. On the move, long live Delbert Africa. Long live Delbert Africa. Long live Delbert Africa. Long live Delbert Africa. Long live revolution. Long live revolution. On the move. On the move. On the move! On the move! You know, we got a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of people who were locked behind these cages. Even during COVID, we have many vulnerable populations who should be home. We're talking about elders. We need to understand that every prisoner is inside for a political reason, is that right? And so if you understand that, if you understand misincarceration, if you understand how this beast locks us up and throws away the key no matter who we are, then we understand that we have a need to free them all. And we say free them all, we don't say some. We're not saying free some. We're not saying free a few. What are we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? And with that being said, I want to bring up the new executive director of the Abolitionist Law Center here in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, my good brother Salim, y'all. Peace, y'all. Thank you for coming out here today. The fact that the Move 9 home is home today is something that many said was impossible. When Mike Africa Jr. and Move's allies was out here on the streets fighting to bring the Move 9 home, people asked them, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. They're never going to let them out. They're in prison for killing a cop. The fact that they're home today is the fact that we can achieve the impossible. There are numerous other political prisoners in Pennsylvania's prison system that we need to bring home today, that we need to bring home at this moment. The Move 9 did over 40 years in prison. We have political prisoners today in Pennsylvania who have been in prison since 1970, 1971. They've been in prison for 50 years. Just think about that. We celebrated when the statue of that bastard Frank Rizzo was brought down, right? Philadelphia fought hard out here in the streets to bring that statue down, to bring down that legacy of racism, discrimination, and oppression against communities of color, against black communities, against brown communities. Let's stop though and think about how hard it was to fight that bastard when he was alive, when he was the police chief of Philadelphia, when he was the mayor of Philadelphia. The political prisoners that are inside today, Fred Muhammad Burton, Russell Maroon Schultz, JoJo Joseph Bowen,
They fought him when he was alive, right? They answered his challenge when he was alive out here oppressing our people. And they sacrificed with over 50 years of their lives in prison. And I'm gonna be straight, I can give two shits what they went in there for. I'm not gonna sit here and debate or argue about whether they're guilty or innocent of being involved in actions that took the lives of police officers. The fact of the matter is they served enough time, right? And whether you believe they are guilty or innocent, the fact is they were held accountable. Police officers who killed black and brown people are never held accountable, right? So the state has had whatever accountability it's looking for. We have not had ours. We've not had ours for any victims of police terror, for any victims of police brutality, for any victims of police murder. Accountability is absent from that conversation. So for our political prisoners who are home now, who are incarcerated now, who are in prison now, we're not going to get into any debates about whether they did it or not. That's done. They did enough time. 50 years under whatever metric you look at is enough time. On August 17th, Fred Muhammad Burton has a court date. Fred Muhammad Burton has been in prison since 1971. The only evidence that he was incarcerated and sentenced to life without parole for was because of a witness who was intimidated into implicating him not at the scene of the crime, not at the scene of the crime or the offense, but because he was allegedly in a meeting in a basement in a house in West Philadelphia where the witness was on the upstairs floor. So the witness didn't even see Fred Muhammad Burton. She said that she heard his voice in a planning meeting in that basement. That testimony sent him to prison for 50 years. That witness, by the way, was a single black mother who was suffering from trauma, was suffering from mental health issues. She initially said that he wasn't at the planning meeting. But then the police, under Rizzo, threatened to take her children and threatened to place her in prison. And she changed her testimony. And that is what has Fred Muhammad Burton in prison for over 50 years. So his hearing is on August 17th. And we're planning a press conference to put forward this evidence. This victim, because she is a victim, this victim and a witness actually recanted, but unfortunately she passed away several years ago. So we intend to release this evidence in order to get a new trial, but more importantly, bring Fred home, right? We want to bring Fred Burton home. He's 73 years old, suffering from end of age, end of life, disability. We want to give him the dignity of spending his last days with his family and with his community that wants him back. But we also want to do the same for Russell Maroon Schultz and Joseph JoJo Bowen. We want to give them the opportunity to spend their last days with their family, spend their last days with their community. Because one thing I can tell you, I can guarantee you, they are not a threat to our community. They're not a threat to any community. They're seniors. They're the most vulnerable populations within the Department of Corrections. So we're going to ask people to join us in solidarity at that court date on August 17th. It's going to be on Zoom, but we plan on having an action. We're still figuring that out. And afterwards, people can get in touch with me because we have contact information. But we definitely want the city of Philadelphia to hear us, that when we say free them all, we mean it. Right. And that we're not leaving any of our combatants, any of our activists in prison during this moment, because 50 years ago today, Mumia Abu-Jamal, Fred Muhammad Burton, Joseph JoJo Bowen, Russell Maroon Schultz, they were protesting police terror, police violence in our community 50 years ago. So let's not forget that. Let's not leave them out of this conversation. So I'm going to close this out, but I want to give people an opportunity to hear from Fred Burton Jr., the son of Fred Burton, who was 3 years old. He was 3 years old when his father was taken from him in the middle of the night. His brother and sister were still in their mother's womb and did not have the opportunity to see their brother free. Fred.
I am truly honored to be here today, to look at everyone in their face, their eyes, to support. It's time for a change. Those brothers in the 70s, what they were doing was organizing, stop police oppression. They had the young black kids having breakfast programs that couldn't afford to eat in the morning. They stopped gang wars on the corners so that we could unify and get our acts together. That's why these kids today have no respect. All the leaders were incarcerated. All their grandfathers were incarcerated. I'm not here to be angry. I'm not here to be upset, but it's sad. I was 4 years old. I grew up going to the penitentiary every year. I'm 54 today. My father has a court date. I believe it's time for justice. See, it's like being in a bad relationship. They don't want to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. He shouldn't have been there. Go ahead. No, they'll argue to the end that they weren't wrong. But I believe with your prayers, that he will be set free. August 17th, just have that energy. Think of Fred Muhammad Burton. That's right. Free Fred Burton. Free Fred Burton! Free Fred Burton! Free Fred Burton! Free Fred Burton! I want y'all to put that information today and tonight on all your social media, on your Facebook, your IG, your Twitter. Free Fred Burton, August 17th. You must also know to be the date of the great excellent Marcus Messiah Garvey's birthday. So it's a very, very, very important day for many, many reasons. We want to give a quick shout out to everybody giving out the mutual aid. We got water in the building, y'all, so give up for the water, the mutual aid here today. Thank you all for that. We also thank all of the legal observers here today as well. Thank y'all for that as well. And you may not all be able to see it, but it's amazing picture here, though. Yes, sir. Perfect. So, Delbert, Africa, in this photo, you may not be able to see it, but it's a beautiful illustration of who he was and who he is. Matter of fact, we don't say was, who he is, because he's still with us. And we say, long live Delbert, Africa. We honor him strong.
Excuse me.
We honor him long, and we understand what he meant to our community. And so, if you get a chance, on your way as we're moving, because soon it's going to be our streets, y'all. Soon it's going to be our streets in a minute. These cars are going to be stopping soon. But we want y'all to see this photo that was done, because it shows the true spirit, the true energy, and the true soul of a true revolutionary from the soil of Philadelphia, y'all. And so we want to say that soon enough. With that being said, Not only was our brother Salim a member and the ED, Executive Director for Abolitionist Law Center, he also is a member of the Black Philly Radical Collective, y'all. And that was developed specifically to coordinate efforts between BLM Philly, between Philly for Real Justice, between MXGM Philly, between the MOVE organization, between Philly and Principal Mayor Abu Jamal, you know, and between RAMS, right? Between so many other groups that are important, including the Human Rights Coalition, and so much other work being done, as we also partner with our unions as well. With that being said, it's important, before you move out, because we're going to move out after this point, so get ready. Oh, I see all the signs out. We're going to get ready to move into the street to our final location for the day. But we do want to allow time to break down these demands, because one of these demands is dealing with the question of our political prisoners, y'all. So please give it up for members of the BPRC, the Black Philly Radical Collective, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Peace. So I'm going to start out with reading the first part of the demands. When we put out these demands, they were very organic and created them for the people. During this time of rebellion against police terrorism and state violence, we, the radical Black organized community in Philadelphia, make the immediately actionable demands upon the city of Philadelphia to abolish, by which we mean to permanently and holistically eliminate the structures of policing and related state violence endangering our community. These demands were written with the understanding that our more vulnerable families, our Black, trans, disabled, and gender-oppressed community members are especially targeted by the systems of oppression expressed in our demands. We censor the most vulnerable within our community in this document and in our work. So these are our first three demands, y'all. We demand an authentic defunding of the police budget. That the city of Philadelphia defund the police budget by 20%. We want public funds to enrich our neighborhoods, not the police. All right. Number two, immediately cease the criminalization of Black resistance. We will not permit the Black community's legitimate struggle against white supremacy to be criminalized during this time of rebellion. District Attorney Larry Krasner must drop all charges and arrests against community members and activists. Number three, we demand the immediate and permanent removal of all symbols of state violence. Mayor Petty removed the statues of Frank Rizzo.
All right.
They also covered up the Columbus statue.
All right.
We want it publicly destroyed.
All right.
Following Wilson Good to be finally removed.
All right. That's good.
So we're going to bring up Sister Yade for the rest of the demand. On the move! I gotta figure out how to work this thing. We recognize the prison as an extension of police violence and demand the release of our incarcerated community members. Demand 4. Swift firing of killer cops and community response. If a police officer murders someone, they should be immediately and permanently fired and transferred to victims and the victim's family. Why after a police officer murders somebody do they still have a job, the opportunity to murder someone else? Demand 5. Immediate release of all vulnerable individuals in prison. People have been arrested for all kinds of petty crimes, and they're now having that serving that as a death sentence in the context of COVID. They have passed legislation to remove those people, and they need to be released now. We demand a complete overhaul of the structures of police accountability. Demand 6. I went out of order. Yeah, but I read demand 6 is demand 4. So, demand 4. Immediate permanent release of Mumia Abu Jamal, Officer Carlo Johnson, Russell Maroon Schultz, Omar Asir, Joseph Jojo Bowen, and all political prisoners. Political prisoners. Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! And I read demand 6, I'll say it again. Swift firing of killer cops. And demand 7, abolish the Fraternal Order of Police and the Police Advisory Committee. As we work towards the complete abolition of police, we demand that the FOP and the Police Advisory Commission be abolished and replaced with a fully funded community control board. And now my sister Crystal is going to read the remaining 6 demands. Free them all! 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 The Black community has the right to live safely and without the threat of violence. Demand 8. End the military occupation of the Black community. We saw what happened at 52nd Street, where the Philadelphia police, Drexel police, Penn police, the National Guard occupied our community, and we demand the complete demilitarization of the Philadelphia police and an end to the police occupation of Black communities. Now. Demand 9, protection for Black Philadelphia. You saw what happened in late May and early June, where pockets of white Philadelphians were roaming the city with guns, axes, and other deadly weapons. The city didn't do shit. But for us, they have tear gas and war munitions. Black Philadelphians must have the ability to defend ourselves. That's right. We say that all systems of carcerality and policing must be dismantled in all of their forms. We're not just talking about the police or the prison. Demand 10 says we want an end to all carceral systems. What do we mean by this? We demand an end to the criminalization of poverty through multiple carceral systems that target us, warrants, cash bail, probation and parole systems, the separation of Black families by DHS and ICE. We want an end to it all. Demand 11. We want and demand that all private police departments be disbanded. When we say the police, we're not just talking about the pigs that are behind us.
in Walnut. You got the Philadelphia police, you got the Penn police, you got the Drexel police, you got the Sefton police, you got the University City District police. We say and realize that Black Philadelphians are policed in every single area of our lives. We want all police disbanded immediately. And finally, we say that racist systems of oppression from slavery to the present must be addressed through economic justice. And let's be clear, when we say economic justice, we say reparations now. Demand 12. Fund communities and not cops. Yes. We demand that the Philadelphia Police Department be completely defunded over the next 5 years. And we want those funds redistributed to our community. There is no reason why our schools are being closed down and the police budget is increasing. We want an end to all of it. And finally, demand 13, economic justice now. Say economic justice now.
Economic justice now.
We demand reparations for all of the harm to Black communities in our city. The government simply must repair the damage that it has done, and it must pay us. Pay us now! 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 Thank you. We encourage you to struggle with us around these demands. We encourage you to uplift these demands. You can find us at BlackPhillyRadicalCollective.com. We are also at Black Philly Radical Collective on Facebook, right? Show up. We are in the midst of 13 actions related to each of our demands, and there won't be any peace until there is justice. Say no justice, no peace!
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 What do we want? Liberation. When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
And one thing real quick before we hit the streets. Somebody told me, they said, Gabe, what are we going to do over 5 years to defund the police? I said, damn it, the annual budget is $750 million. You may not know what to do with it, but we for damn sure know what to do with that money.
Yes, Tammy, absolutely right.
We for damn sure know what kind of investment we can repurpose those funds into. We know best how to redistribute those funds. So you may not have the answers, but we have the answers. The people have the answers. The community has the answers to our own solutions. We know our own solutions to our own problems. So whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
You ready to move?
Yes!
Are you ready to move?
Yes!
Are you ready to move?
Yes!
Are you ready to move?
Yes!
So we want to get your signs together, get your banners together, and we're going to have these folks lead here. Let this banner sign right here, and this banner sign right here lead us. So we got Jericho Movement, we got, I think our PSL sign, now BPRC sign, the banners. If you have a sign, please bring your sign. We also want the Workers' Work Party sign as well. The banners for Workers' Work Party, please come out as well to the front. And we want Mike Africa Jr. as well to the front as well. Let's get Mike Africa to the front. We're going to be loud, we're going to be strong. We're going to do what has to be done.
Our streets! 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 We are political prisoners! What's the call? 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 What's the call?
What's the call?
Bring 'em on!
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 Who's street? 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 Our street. Who's street? Who's street?
Our street!
Who's street?
Our street!
Brick by brick, wall by wall, we gotta free. Maria,
Abdul Jamal!
the wall, brick by brick, wall by wall, we gotta free. Maria, Abdul Jamal, the wall, brick by brick, wall by wall, we gotta free. Maria, Abdul Jamal, brick by brick, wall by wall, we gotta free. Maria, Abdul Jamal, brick by brick, wall by wall, we gonna free. Mumia, Abdul Jamal.
Brick by brick!
Huh?
Wall by wall!
We gonna free.
Umir! Abdul Jamal!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
shut it down.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 fist up,
Fight back!
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 fist up.
Fight back!
Who's street?
Our streets!
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 Back up, we want our
Freedom! Freedom!
Tell these racist times come.
We don't need
What do we do?
Stand up like that.
When black family is under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
When black children are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
When black children are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
Don't stop!
Fight back.
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 When do we want liberation? When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it? When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
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 what's the call?
Free 'em all.
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 Let's go quick. Wall by wall, we're gonna free. From here,
Lose them all.
brick by brick.
Wall by wall, we gotta free. From here, I lose them all.
Brick by brick. Wall by wall, we're gonna free.
From here, I lose them all.
Brick by brick. Wall by wall, we're gonna free.
From here, I lose them all.
Brick by brick.
Wall by wall, we gotta free. From here, I lose them all.
Brick by brick.
Wall by wall, we gotta free. From here, I lose them all.
Brick by brick.
Wall by wall, we gotta free. From here, I lose them all.
Brick by brick.
Wall by wall, we gotta free. From here, I lose them all.
What's the call?
Free 'em 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 all.
I'm a piece of my heart.
Ain't no good.
Piece of my heart.
Ain't no good.
Piece of your heart.
Ain't no good.
Piece of your heart.
Ain't no good.
So don't arrest me.
Arrest the police.
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 The piece of my heart.
Ain't no good.
The piece of my heart.
Ain't no good.
The piece of your heart.
Ain't no good.
The piece of your heart.
Ain't no good.
So don't arrest me.
Arrest the police.
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 The piece of my heart.
Ain't no good.
The piece of my heart.
Ain't no good.
The piece of your heart.
Ain't no good.
The piece of your heart.
Ain't no good.
So don't arrest me.
Arrest the police.
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 That's what we wanna.
Freedom, freedom.
Tell these racists and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
That's what we wanna. Freedom.
Freedom.
Tell these racists and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
That's what we wanna. Freedom. Tell these racists and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
That's what we wanna. Freedom. Tell these racists and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Tell these racists and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Tell these violent and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Tell these overpaid come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Tell these useless and come.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
When Philadelphia is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like that.
When Philadelphia is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like that.
When political prisoners are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like that.
When political prisoners are under attack, what do we
Stand up, fight back. When South Philly is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Germantown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Uptown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Germantown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black children are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Philadelphia is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. 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 Black lives matter. 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 No justice. No peace. No peace for violence with the police. No justice. No peace. No peace for violence with the police. No peace.
Are under attack. What do we do? When black people are under attack.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black people are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black children are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black children are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When political prisoners are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When political prisoners are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back. Black lives matter.
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 Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
All Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Justice lives matter. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
All Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black kids' lives matter.
Kids lives matter.
Black 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 lives matter.
Whole streets.
Our streets.
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 Back up, we want our freedom, freedom. Tell these racist ass cocks. I said, back up, we want our freedom, freedom. Tell these racist ass cocks. We don't need 'em, need 'em. Back up, we want our freedom, freedom. Tell these racist ass we don't need 'em, need 'em.
Back up,
We want our freedom, freedom.
Tell these racist ass.
We don't need 'em, need 'em.
No cop zone. No cop zone. They know better. They know better. With no cop zone. No cop zone.
They know better.
What?
They know better.
Hey,
No cop zone.
what?
No cop zone.
What?
They know better. They know better.
What?
No cop zone.
What?
No cop zone.
What?
They know better. They know better. No cop zone.
What?
No cop
from the old school. Does my heart too see us here at a multinational capacity. We always marched since the 60s, a group of us, a family of us. And we always called out, head to the alone. It's the people's struggle. And you have justified it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Stay strong. Never give the fuck up. I was our brother from Africa. He's been with us. He's been in the organization since almost the beginning of the organization. And what he was saying is why I wanted him to come up on the mic is that the incident when the police attacked our house on August 8, 1978 happened right here. This house is the house. This house wasn't here. This house was built after they tore our house down. They rebuilt this house and they changed the address of these apartment buildings because they didn't want anyone writing letters or getting mail to 309 and 307 North 33rd Street. When they bulldozed this house, when our people came out, you saw the beating of Delbert, Africa. That happened right here on the sidewalk over here. The police were all on top of this building with their guns aimed at the people inside of this house over here. My mother was 8 months pregnant with me in that house. My father was in that house, Uncle Chuck, and a lot of children. Other members of the MOVE organization, Janet and Janine and Eddie. And we are here today, just like we've been here ever since then and before then, and we're going to be here after this day to say we will fight back. We will resist this system. We will remember. We will remember the freedom fighters that came and taught us and showed us the way. We will remember the Harriet Tubman. We will follow the example of Harriet Tubman and John Brown. We will follow the examples that John Africa taught us about. We will follow the examples of Delbert, Africa. And we will continue to move in this revolution to get our freedom. Long live revolution! Long live revolution! Now what we're going to do is we're going to continue this march to the park where our brothers and sisters are waiting for us. On the move. On the move! No justice! No peace! 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 We fired up! Can't take no more! We fired up! Can't take it no more! Alright y'all, let me teach y'all this one. Come on y'all. We got a lot of new ones, but this one that Buck Africa just showed us is the old school John. We fired up! We ain't taking no more! 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 We fired up! We ain't taking no more!
He's a puppy.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. On the move. On the move. On the move. Yo, yo. Check this out. Hey. It's beautiful to see the brothers and sisters here today. I got an announcement to make. On August 8th, the city of Philadelphia tried to take our people down. On August 8th this morning, the newest addition to the Move family was born. We keep on moving because that's what we about. And in addition to that, our brother Chuck Africa is here with us today right now. Look, y'all seen the videos where Chuck was saying, y'all seen it. Hey, Gabe, which one is it? He said, they said, what's the strategy of John Africa? The strategy of John Africa. The strategy of John Africa. They said, well, what's the strategy of John Africa? Hey, I wouldn't tell my strategy to you. Chuck Africa was the youngest of the Move 9. And he was so very hated by the police because of his intelligence, because of the way he could put out information and get across to the people. And I am so proud and honored that he is my uncle. And I'm so grateful that he had the strength to overcome dying in prison. Chuck Africa has been suffering from cancer, and he has struggled with it from behind bars, but he has continued to be strong and fight, and the life energy that he has inside of him is unrelenting, and it keeps him moving. And he is here today, my uncle. Give it up for my Uncle Chuck Africa, y'all. I ain't gonna be on here long because I'm gonna go back over there and hang out with him. But I just wanted to say that he was here so that y'all can know that. On the move.
On the move, y'all. So we're going to do is we're actually going to hear a tribute to Delbert Africa by the Move family. We want us to pay attention to this moment because it's very important while we're here. Is that right? Yeah. Is that right? That's right. Can y'all hear in the back? Yeah. All right.
On the move, y'all. Long live John Africa. I'm going to be reading a quote from John Africa. This is the information that kept Move people, including Delbert Africa, committed to revolution. 40-something years in prison, Move people spent, and none of them gave up their belief in their commitment to revolution. This is the information that was given to them by our beloved founder, John Africa. Revolution is not a word, but an application. It is not war, but peace. It does not weaken, it strengthens. Revolution does not cause separation. It generates togetherness. Revolution is an activity, a generating force that continues generating, continues activating, continues togetherness. Solidarity will never be realized so long as geography is imperative. Solidarity is unity. Without unity, you can't have revolution. The word people should be a symbol of identity, which should unite people and dispel war. But to call everyone a person and go to war against people is to say that people are compelled to conflict, making peace hopeless. in everything that people are striving to make, to have, to be. If you expect to accomplish the defeat of oppression, you are going to have to understand the power of assertion. A single mind is an assertive mind. When you think as one, you are as no other. When you think as one another, you are defeated, because one is one and another is something other than one. This ain't no word game. Revolution is not a game, no more than words are innocent. Solidarity ain't a word. Solidarity is a principle that exists despite words, and will exist when words have ceased. When oppression have oppressed people to revolt, the way of revolution is to press on with examples of revolution, so that when a people rebel, they will not be discouraged by seeing no way out except to go back to the very adversaries they are rebelling against. A revolutionary must then be willing to apply the principle so that the mind can be set to one aim, the aim of revolution. It is a single mind that will thrust you forward when all else fail. That is a quote from our founder, John Africa. That is what kept the MOVE organization committed to revolution. We are all one people. We are all one people fighting against this rotten system. It don't matter the color you are. It don't matter how young, how old. Everybody should be committed to tearing down this system. Because let me tell you something. This system is hell-bent on killing all of us. They pollute our air. They pollute our water. They beat us. They jail us. They're affecting our health. What more do we need? We need to be united for revolution to fight this system. On the move, long live John Africa, long live Delbert Africa. On the move, long live John Africa.
On the move, y'all, on the move, on the move, on the move. What we want to do is we also want to acknowledge, we talked earlier about solidarity and how the solidarity has been strong. And so with that being said, in the spirit of what the brother just said, we're going to bring up a representative from Philly ABC to talk about what's going on, right? You know about Philly ABC, right? If you don't, you're going to hear about it now, y'all, before we get ready to close up the program.
On the move! On the move! Sunday, September 6th, 2020. I'm going to say it again. Sunday, September 6th, 2020. What is that? Running down the walls. Running down the walls. This will be the third annual Running Down the Walls we've done in so-called Philadelphia. In 1994, the ABCF established a war chest fund to send monthly stipends of $40 a month to political prisoners who have otherwise lacking or little or no financial support. Since 1999, Running Down the Walls events have been happening in cities across the country and inside prisons across the country to raise funds for the war chest. Think about what that means for a second. Inside prisons. That means our political prisoners are engaging in this with us. They are doing this with us. That is huge. Huge, because it is one of the biggest things we can do, one of the biggest things you can do in direct solidarity with them. The 5K, you don't have to run. You can walk, you can jog, you can roll. Because of COVID concerns, you can do it remotely this year. The main point is, it's $40 once a year to provide an enormous amount of support to 19 other political prisoners and the local cause we're donating to, which this year will be to Philadelphia-based long-term Black liberation prisoner Russell Maroon Shows. We are blessed to have his family organizing this event with us. The registration deadline is August 24th, but do not wait until the last minute. Don't. Do it now. Do it today. Pull out your smartphone and go to phillyabc.org, click the link for Running Down the Walls, and register. Do it now.
Yes, yes, thank you, Illy. Yeah, all right, so look, what Illy is talking about is support for Russell Maroon Shoatz. Russell Maroon Shoatz been in prison since what, 73? 72? 1972? How many of us are even here that was born in 1972, right? There's a whole lot of people here that wasn't born then. Russell Maroon Shoatz is he a great grandparent? Like, he's been in prison for so long, and he needs support. And he talked about what the money supports. My parents spent all the time in prison, and I know that if you don't have money, you can't call your family. And the system's intention is to separate us from our families. The more we're separated from our families, then the more vulnerable we are. Because the families are protection. They can call the prison, they can complain, they can write letters, they can get other people involved. There's a lot of people that die in prison because they couldn't contact their families. That money that we're talking about raising for Russell Maroon Shoatz and the other political prisoners gives them the ability to access their families and make phone calls and buy food that they need. Basic human necessities is what that money goes towards supporting. So people, please dig deep and make that donation so we can get the support to the brothers and sisters behind the walls. There is no revolution without those brothers and sisters like them standing up and risking their freedom and their families' freedom for all of us in this world. So we need to support them and keep them feeling the love, right? And then so I know I said I wasn't gonna be long, and I'm promised I'm not, but before I get off the mic, I'm gonna introduce Delbert Africa's daughter.
All right.
As we said earlier, Delbert Africa spent 41 and a half years in prison. He came home, and a few months later he passed. But he lives on in Yvonne Orel. Talk to me, sister.
On the move. My other sister is here, Sean, as well.
All right.
So first I want to say thank you. I want to let you know that my dad's life was a life that was filled with joy, with happiness, with love. But most importantly, it's that persistence is what yields the resistance. Persistence, patience. He taught me a lot about what it means to be a revolutionary. And on the other side, I got a Illinois Black Panther high-ranking officer mama, such that she skedaddled out of this country under false arrest warrants so that I could be born in Canada shortly after. 3 months later, Fred Hampton was murdered. So I'm on both sides. I'm a Cub, I'm a Move baby. And make no mistake about it, I am no revolutionary. People don't like to hear the truth sometimes. Sometimes that truth stings. They think they've been stung by a bee. It's just a little knowledge coming your way. It fills you up on the inside when you recognize truth, especially when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see your bloodline, your generational line, and how you come up. Much more than being a survivor, you learn how to thrive in life. Can't no bars shut down this kind of love between that father and these girls. None. So for me, somebody asked me, how you getting along? I really can't tell because he's still alive. Long live Delbert Africa. Long live Delbert Africa. Long live Delbert Africa. Don't make me put some bass up in my voice so you can understand the knowledge that was imparted on me through my heart parts. I did this bit with him all 42 years. I came here just 5.5 months after. When we were back at that site, I felt that bloodline the same way that I did at the gates. At that castle on the motherland. So when they beat you, when they kick you, when they stomp you, when they break your jaw, when they break your ribs, when they break your legs, when they shatter your Achilles, when they break your hand, and you still can look them in the eye and say, fuck the police. Know that you are a truth bearer, a sword carrier, and you are one that understands we are all in this race to live freely as we choose to be together. So no matter what signs we have, and though they are most appreciated and needed, know that if you're not walking talking about prosecuting the police, if you're not walking talking about hashtag George Floyd, if you're not walking feeling the pain of Breonna Taylor in the bed being bloodshot, start again. Because persistence is what yields the resistance. So from Chi-Town to this town, know that I am the one that is down beyond a brotherly love sign that will tear this motherfucker up. From my father on everything, I shut the shit down. So when we walk talking about we the seeds of Delbert or Africa, know that when we are seeds, we are plentiful, we grow, we blossom, and we will light up the sky with some revolutionary power. Free them all! Free them all! I said, what's the call? What's the call? All power to the people on the move.
Yes, 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 yes. This is the lineage, y'all, of Delbert, Africa, y'all. This is the family right here. The fruit don't fall too far. That being said, I want to bring up our brother who always is with us. He's always marching with us, always in the front line with us. He always shows the solidarity with us. And he's been on the front line for a long time, teaching, building, energizing, mobilizing, strategizing, deputizing in many ways as well. I want to bring up our dear brother Baba Zaid, y'all. Get up on him, y'all. Give him a strong black hand, y'all. Come on, y'all. All power to the people. 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 On behalf of the Malcolm X Commemoration Committee in New York City, I bring you greetings. I want you to know that annually, for over 25 years, we've been doing our annual dinner tribute to our freedom fighters and their families, and that's what we've just been talking about. Well, since we've been under this COVID cover, we're trying to use this virtual space, and that's difficult for some of us old heads, right? But we're trying to use this virtual space to still continue to do that. So for every month since May 19th, we've had one of our virtual gatherings and raised money for a particular prisoner for that particular month. May 19th, we did Sundiata Akoli. In June, we did Jalil Muntakim. Last month, we did Dr. Mutulu Shakur. And on the 29th of this month, we will do Russell Maroon Schultz. So I want everybody all you Facebook heads, to like the Malcolm X Commemoration Committee. Right? It's an international page. We got young people all over the world following Malcolm's line and Malcolm's work on that page. So please do that. But I have to say this, and I'll get off this mic because I haven't heard it today. This is Black August. That's right. Huh? Black August. Huh? The month inspired by some of the baddest and boldest expressions of revolutionary insurgency of our ancestors, no matter how deep or how hard or how raw or how wrong the oppression. That's right, that's right. Huh? And it was constructed by the Black Panther Party to honor the martyrdom of Jonathan Jackson. Yesterday was August 7th. 50 years, Jonathan walked into them courtrooms, locked and loaded, and said, "We are in charge." You know what he said? 17 years old, right? To honor the martyrdom of Jonathan Jackson, and on August 21st, to honor the martyrdom of George Jackson. Huh? So let's walk through Black August a little bit. Yes, sir. The 21st just happens to be the anniversary of the bloody, bold, head-smiting revolutionary activity of Nat Turner. That's right. Scared this cracker to death. Oh yeah, he did. If you want your freedom, there are certain things and certain times and certain ways you got to roll to let this cracker know that you're going to get it one way or other. Nat Turner showed us how to do that on August 21st, 1831. Now you see me wearing this Cap jersey, right? Do you know that young boy took that knee on August 14th? And what is August 14th? Everybody say, boy, come on.
Y'all being punky. I said, say, boy came on. What was boy came on? Boy came on was the time and the place when our ancestors came out of the hills of IET and did that ceremony and said the time has come for us to fry these goddamn French and to take our freedom, to take our island, to take our liberation and show the world that black people can and will be free by any means necessary. The only slave uprising that won. This is Black August. This is Black August, goddammit. Black August. August 11th through August 15th in the Watts section of Los Angeles. Wide area of a whole lot of field Negroes. Got tired of them damn pigs, boy. Got tired of them pigs at 65 and started tearing shit up and started turning over cars and started whooping asses and had pigs scurrying. Oh yeah, they did. And out of the blood and ashes of the epic Watts Rebellion came organizations like the Black Panther Party. Huh? Talking about Black August. So I want y'all to appreciate, I can go all in, we got a long list of dates that we can talk about with Black August, but I just had to give you the essence. The essence is stiff resistance, bold revolutionary expression, and support. Non-negotiable, uncompromising support and recognition for our political prisoners. This ain't no house party. This ain't no fashion show. This ain't no buck dancing ceremony. This is to honor our freedom fighters, from our baddest revolutionary ancestors to our freedom fighters still locked up in the walls. So we say, free Dr. Mutulu Shakur. We say, happy birthday, Dr. Mutulu Shakur. We say, free Russell Maroon Schultz. We say, happy birthday, Russell Maroon Schultz. His B-Day is August 23rd. And then finally, somebody earlier mentioned Mr. Garvey. That's what I call him. Because when you go organize how that black man organized 100 years ago, he ain't had no damn cell phones. They ain't have none of that cute-ass technology, and MP3s and all that shit that y'all do. Had 4 million people all over the African world united in a ways that we haven't seen since. Mr. Garvey, August 17th, 100 years ago, August 13th, he gave us the red, the black, and the green, the universal flag of national African liberation 100 years ago. This is Black August. This is Black August, goddammit. This is Black August. So I don't want any of you to ever forget what time it is and how you're supposed to roll during this time. When August come around, it ain't about how you scratching your head, how you gonna figure out your last few days off the Crackers plantation. What you gonna do to turn the volume up on this cracker? What you gonna do to turn the volume up on this pig? What you gonna do to turn the volume up on these blood-sucking capitalists? What you gonna do? Better than that, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So with that, we say all power to the people. We say all power to the people. We say all power to the people. All power to the people. What's the call? What's the call? What's the call? What's the call? X, as in Malcolm, is the answer we're seeing the world with. Yes, sir.
Brother was going hard, as we should. That's how we move. With that being said, I want to bring up our family with the Party for Socialism Liberation. They all around with the red shirt. Shout out to everybody from PSL, y'all. I got to the art museum. They were organized right on the steps already. I see you, Walt. So I want to give up to Angel, y'all, to speak to us, to our community, about what today means, y'all. Give it up for him.
Hey, I am
I am
a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. I am a revolutionary. We are here today to celebrate the revolutionary legacy of Delbert, Africa, to honor that legacy, that revolutionary legacy that has us here today. We are here to call for the freedom of Mumia Abu-Jamal. We are here to call for the freedom of all political prisoners everywhere who are unjustly imprisoned for speaking truth to power. We must make sure that Delbert Africa's legacy must not die in vain, but that we all learn and work from his commitment to the struggle and to the commitment that he had for the people by standing here today in protest of police terror. Now, I know police terror good and well. I grew up with the police around me all my life. We all know what the police does. We all know what the purpose of the police is, which is to protect private property, not to protect and serve the people, but to protect and serve private property, to protect and serve capitalism, to protect and serve the ruling class. It's not here for black people. It's not here for working people. It's not here for homeless people. It's here to protect and serve the ruling class and power. It's not here to protect us. It's never been here to protect us. We need to get that clear. All that police has ever done for me and my community is terrorize, intimidate, and unjustly imprison my community. Imprisons children from school to the prison pipeline. It imprisons our young people in the community. It imprisons mothers who can't take care of their children. They take people from our communities and put them into cages. For what? To uphold the system. And the police here in Philadelphia is not a force of good, but a force of violence. And we need to have that clear. And it's not just a force of violence here in Philadelphia, but in every state, in every city, in every town across this country. But what they don't know is that when they take someone from our community, they turn them into a revolutionary.
That's right.
When they take someone and put them in prison, they turn them into a revolutionary.
That's right.
When they come into our communities without permission, they are creating revolutionaries on that spot. And we see that danger that they cause us every day. They harass families. They evict single mothers out of their homes. And we know also that evictions are also a form of police terror. Let's get that clear. When you have families out on the street because they can't pay bills, who shows up? The cops. When you have a kid that doesn't go to school, who shows up? The cops. And that's violent. That's police terror right there in our communities every day. It's occupation. That's right. It's occupation in our communities. And we must call that out. We only should not just call that out. We need to be organized.
That's right.
And that's what Mumia Abu-Jamal has been calling for. That's right. Through his writings, through his activism, while he's been in prison, while he's been sick, he's been ill, he's not been able to see his family. And he's still, from prison, been helping us grow politically. And what should we do? We should organize in his legacy and in his honor. That's right. And Mumia knew, and he knows, that if black lives are to truly matter, the police cannot be a part of that equation. Because the police do not serve the people. We serve the people. The police do not serve the people. And lastly, I think that we must organize and we must stay in these streets and call these streets our own, because they are our own. They are our streets. They are our home. These are communities. And not the police is not here to protect and serve our communities, but we ourselves are here to protect and serve our communities. And in order to do that, we must remain organized. We must learn from leaders like Delbert Africa and Mumia Abu-Jamal and all of the freedom fighters that have come before us. And we must learn from George Jackson and Jonathan Jackson. We must pay tribute to those organizers through our actions. We must call for freedom for Mumia and all political prisoners across this country, each and every day. We need to free Mumia and free all political prisoners. And lastly, call for all revolutionaries to get organized in these streets. All power to the people. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
I can't hear y'all. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Say, I am a revolutionary.
A revolutionary.
I am a revolutionary.
A revolutionary.
Don't you ever forget that you are a revolutionary where you stand. That you are all revolutionaries. We have a duty to fight and organize, stay in these streets so that we can win. When we stay organized, we win. When we fight, we win. All power to the people. Thank you.
All power to the people.
So we're going to keep this moving. We only got a couple speakers left, and then we're going to close up shop. I do see that there's some watermelon in the back. Shout out to Food Not Bombs, y'all. Food Not Bombs. So if you're going to get something as we're talking, if you're listening today, feel free to get some watermelon and some other snacks as we're continuing to finish up. Again, we only have a couple more speakers left. Then we're going to finish up. Everybody say Uhuru, y'all. Uhuru. I'm going to bring up our brother to provide us with a statement of solidarity with regards to our brother Delbert Africa, y'all.
Uhuru. I want to salute and appreciate all the speakers that spoke before me. My name is Matum Nyobi. I'm a member, and I am a revolutionary. I am an African. Okay, so I want to read a tribute to Delbert Africa from Chairman Amali Yeshitela, who's my leadership of the African People's Socialist Party. And he couldn't be here, but I'm the Northern Region representative. So I'm out here, and I want to salute all these revolutionary, all these organizations and speakers that came out here. So, okay, African People's Socialist Party remembers Delbert or Africa. Delbert or Africa died on Monday, June 15th, 2020, after a 2-year battle with prostate and bone cancer by Chairman Amali Yeshitela. On the behalf of the African People's Socialist Party, we would like to extend our profound condolences to the comrades, friends, and family of Comrade Brother Delbert or Africa. We want to share with the world what we know of the significance of the life of Brother Delbert, our hero of the African liberation struggle. Much of the insight we've gained about the 1978 and 1985 U.S. military assault on the bombing of MOVE came from the testimony of Doc Hatter at the 4th session of the International Tribune and Reparations for Black People in the U.S., organized by our party and held in November 1985. Delbert or Africa was a member of the MOVE family, the MOVE Family Africa, or the MOVE organization, founded by John Africa in 1972. MOVE fought to keep our freedom struggle alive after the Black Power movement of the 1960s was militarily defeated by the U.S. government counterinsurgency program. MOVE members live in the collective in West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We sought to inspire our people to self-determination by setting a healthy lifestyle example, eating raw vegetables, vegan food, exercising, and homeschooling their children. They organized demonstrations expressing their disunity with the conditions of the Black community, as well as the other colonial contradictions. They would not back down, even facing the harshest attacks. In one incident at the home, a 2-month-old infant was snatched from the mother's arm and stomped to death by the police. MOVE did not recognize the authority of the U.S. government over our lives and would not allow police in their homes under any circumstances, any pretense. In 1978, the Philadelphia police, under the direction of the notorious Chief Frank Rizzo, mounted a military assault on a move house. 500 to 600 cops took up positions on all floors of all the surrounding buildings and opened fire on the house. The move house was wood frame that